What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to Sing by Numbers Live. We are live every Wednesday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. if you're in London or Denmark. Wherever you're watching from, say hello in the comments and let me know. Come and say what's up. Tell me where you're from. Now, the goal of this show is to just really analyze and decode the magical mysteries that exist in that love story between notes and numbers. Notes and numbers are here's my mic. I don't have to shout. Notes and numbers are perfectly aligned. They have a beautiful synergy, a beautiful symbiotic relationship. And I love to nerd out on the way that notes and numbers are related. Now, why is that? Because when you know your numbers, if you know which note correlates to which number, you are free in music. It gives you an absolute musical freedom that you will not ever experience if you aren't familiar with this relationship and you don't have that code locked into your body. So that's why we're here every Wednesday. I'm giving you little tips, tidbits, treats, snacks on the number system. Now, sometimes it was called the Nashville number system. That's only because the people in Nashville made it famous. But the number system is ancient. It existed long before Nashville came up with it. But the Nashville number system, the number system, whatever you want to call it, it exists and musicians all over the world are using it. If you're just joining us now on Instagram, come and join us at singbynumbers.com/live or singbynumbers.com/stage so you can be in the conversation. And when you get in here, let me know where you're from in the comments. I want to see who's watching from where and how'd you hear about us. We're happy to have you. So the Nashville number system became famous in the 1950s. Again, like I said, the number system has been around for ages and musicians all over the world have been using it for many different reasons. Now, singers, we got solfege. For some reason, the genius musician teachers of the world decided that singers should learn a different system. So we learned do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which is very valuable, very useful. However, all the musicians that we're working with, all the bands that we're playing with, all the producers that we're working with are like, okay, if you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're just using the exact same system, but using numbers instead. Now, all of us have been counting since we were little. And so the number system is highly valuable. It has served me so well over the years. It's the whole reason that I was able to land massive gigs like Roberta Flack 13-year contract. I also spent 4 years as India Davenport's background singer in the Brand New Heavies. And then when she left, I became the lead singer for 7 years. So that was another incredible run. And I know that because I knew my numbers, that was the reason that I was able to take on gigs of that magnitude and never feel pressure and never feel fear. So welcome. If you're new here and it's your first time, we are here every Wednesday and I'm just dropping tea, for free because I love it and because I love you and because I want to share. And I have a special guest today because as many of you know, I just returned from a really beautiful run with the Dave Koz cruise. We did Iceland, Norway, Netherlands, 2 cities in Norway, 2 cities in Iceland. We crossed the Arctic Circle, which is an experience that not many humans get to have. I have a little certificate now that says I have crossed the Arctic Circle. And for that cruise, I needed to learn several songs. We did lots of shows with 13 songs in the set, maybe 15 songs in the set. And I did maybe 5 or 6 shows throughout 1 week. And each show, I only knew a couple of the tunes or I was familiar with a couple of the tunes. So I had to learn a lot of music. And guess why I slayed? I just got a text from Dave Koz thanking me again. So I know I slayed. I know I did a good job. And it felt really good to be confident in those spaces because I was working with a lot of incredible musicians and I felt like I could keep up and that I belonged in the room. And that's a really wonderful feeling. And there have been many years that I didn't have that much confidence. I didn't have that feeling. So the number system is available to you because I'm actually offering my very first free full masterclass this coming Tuesday. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. I want to make sure that if you're watching, go now to this link, singbynumbers.com/masterclass and sign up, mark your calendars, and plan to be with me for an hour next Tuesday, the 15th, 2 p.m. Pacific, aka 5 p.m. Eastern. And just plan to get your wig split, plan to connect some of the dots if you've ever been in a situation where you're like, everybody around me just said go from the 2 to the 5 and everybody in the room knew what to do but me. I want to save you from that feeling. I want to transform the lives of 10,000 singers. That is my mission. That is my goal. So I'm really committed to this. And this masterclass is my first attempt at offering this system to the public. I've spent the better part of the last year designing this system so that singers can digest it easily. You can rewire your neural pathways and become a beast. You're already a beast, I'm sure, right? You're a great singer, but and you might even have a great ear, and you might not even struggle to find your part, but do you know what part that is and why you're choosing that? Do you know when to just do parallel harmonies or when to split, maybe do a fourth or a sixth instead of a third? Those little things are the things that you learn when you learn the number system. And there's so many more. So without further ado, I'm about to play for you the interview that I recorded on the Dave Koz cruise with an incredible musician. Now, this gentleman blew my mind on this cruise. He is such a beautiful singer. His voice is velvety, and his album just came out. So I want you to listen to this interview. And while it's playing, I'll be sure to put his links on the screen so that you can keep up with him. But just take a listen and enjoy. All right. Here is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Marcel Anderson. 3 different countries together over the past 2 weeks on the Dave Koz cruise. And it's been such a treat to discover that you exist and that and get amazing you are.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure. Welcome back to another episode of Sing by Numbers Live. I'm your host, Hani LaRochelle, aka Mama Number, and I am with the incredible, the ridiculously amazing Marcel Anderson, who I've had the pleasure of meeting this week. We are out here in Norway. We have had the pleasure of touring 3 different countries together over the past 2 weeks. On the Dave Koz cruise, and it's been such a treat to discover that you exist and that and get to hear how amazing you are.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
So I know I kind of grabbed you off the spot and didn't give you a lot of information, but this show is called Sing by Numbers, and it's a show that accompanies the online course that I'm currently creating.
Awesome.
And the goal is to teach singers the number system. It's often called the Nashville number system, which means that instrumentalists use numbers and singers don't often learn the number system. We're given solfege. But numbers have been the reason that I've been so successful in my career, and I'm so interested in everyone's story. So I think before teaching singers the number system, I think teaching them why they would even be interested in learning the number system is imperative. So that's the goal of this show.
Awesome. Love it.
You know, decoding the magic and the mystery of it all.
I love it.
So tell us, in your experience, have you ever had any moments where you were like, oh, I wish I knew my numbers? Or have you ever had moments where you're like, thank God I know my numbers? Tell me a little about you.
Yeah, first of all, again, thank you for having me, and so grateful for this platform. Is so much needed for vocalists like myself who've gone to school, who paid attention but didn't pay attention, was always told to learn your numbers, learn your scales, but never thought it was as important as I thought it was. I said, I'll catch up, I'll get to it.
Wait, who was telling you?
My brother all my brothers are in music. They all read. They all know the number systems. My other brother, he actually was trying to teach me the number system.
And you were just defiant.
So,
but look at you. You're touring the world.
Without the number system.
You're getting by. So it's not necessary. But tell us, have there ever been moments when you were like, ooh, I wish.
So not going against what you're saying, but I do think it's necessary. I think it's necessary now in the times that we are. I think it's necessary. It's important. When I say necessary, there's a need for it, right? For such a time as this, for musicians not like, I mean, like myself, but also those who's coming behind us, to be able to be cultivated and trained and educated. I call it the ETC, educated, trained, and cultivated, etc. You can continue to evolve yourself in the space, right?
Okay.
So I believe, for me personally, I think it is necessary for someone like myself and others that you will teach, right? If it wasn't necessary, you wouldn't be teaching this. So I believe there is a need for it to help you, to let you know that this is important, to be able to separate, to elevate. I think when we separate from that, we elevate to this ideal of knowing more of what we did not know, right?
Exactly.
And case in point, why it's necessary for me. I was a music director, arts and worship director at a church, and I mean, I know parts and things of that nature, but it was important for me to connect with the musicians, and it was difficult for me to connect with the musicians because of that. Right? I would just say, "Hey, go up, go down, go left, go right," but when we discussed and talked through like the number system conversation, it made more sense, but I was unaware of that, right?
Right.
So we had to break it down.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. So that's my experience.
Wow, that's awesome. So you were a music, you landed that position.
Yeah.
So clearly the talent was there.
Yeah.
And then you had these experiences not knowing numbers. And then since then, are you familiar with the system at this point? Or is it still kind of
still
vague?
New, still fresh?
So you're going to be one of my first students?
I have it in my head. I have it in my mind. I don't know if it correlates with C, D, E, F, G.
Well, those are keys. Okay. And what's beautiful about the number system is that it doesn't matter what key you're in. Okay. As long as you know you're one. Okay. And then if you know if you're major or minor. Okay. And once you know that, you can fly. Good. You can drive. Okay. All over.
Well, I'll be a student along with you guys. So let's be students together, because we're definitely going to be doing this.
You know what's wild is Take Six happens to be on this cruise with us. And I said to one of them, I was like, I credit you guys for the whole reason that I started this course. I studied you guys my whole life. I learned every part and every song. Like, you were such a huge inspiration. And now I'm doing Sing by Numbers. And he was like, I got to take that.
Oh, wow.
So
even them saying that.
So this is why I say it's not necessary. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. I think it's imperative, and it transformed my whole life and career. It's made so many things so much easier. So many moments in the studio, or I'm trying to communicate with the producer, or if I'm working with one instrumentalist on an acoustic set, and I'm like, go to the 4, go to the 3. If I can communicate with somebody that quickly, so much more can happen. So it's a luxury that, again, not necessary, but absolutely game changer and life changing.
I know this is your show, but I have a question for you. Like, how long did it take you to connect with it? Is it for like slow learners, fast learners? And not to call people slow, but
no, everybody learns at a different pace.
Yeah.
So the way that I've designed this course is it's really it goes from the very, very basics, like the very elementary. So anybody can begin at the beginning. But most the people who I've encountered, I have a few people beta testing the course right now, and they've been kind of like, oh, this is a little too easy, because I started everybody at 0. And my request is that you do each lesson at least once, but really the way that it's supposed to work is if the first lesson stumps you at all, you should do it again. And you should maybe plan to do it twice a day for 10 days.
Oh, wow.
And then you move on to the next lesson, and each time you're rewiring your brain, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain, and like plugging the system into your body, because you really need to know it in your core. It's fine to learn. It's the same as learning music theory. It's fine to learn music theory, but then you got to put it into practice. And then what does that feel like? There's going to be moments where you're like, okay, wait, I know this. It's like when you're learning to drive. And you're learning to change lanes. And you're like, mirror, mirror, signal, blind spot. Mirror, mirror, signal, blind spot. And then eventually you're just like, all of those 4 steps just happened in 1 second. But it's wax on, wax off, baby.
You said something very key too. I know we don't have much time,
I
but
have
for consistency, like you talked about some of this 10 days, like doing it for 10 days, like staying consistent, get you consistent results. And I think
100%.
my challenge was me not being consistent.
Mm.
So I think that's important for those people who invest in this,
Mm-hmm.
being intentional about it. And that's my focus
Mm.
next go around. If that I'm investing in that and staying consistent, so I can tell myself I want this, but I'm not investing in that.
Right.
So I definitely have to be more intentional about something that I say I want, right?
I like to
Especially as I'm in
say
this
you
field.
get to. You
Yeah,
get to be more intentional. I want to make sure
yeah,
you're in the shot here.
yeah.
Um,
Amy.
yeah. Hey, you. Yeah, you get to be, and intentionality and investment is really important. That's why I think also, um, I'm not giving my friends deals.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
I'm going to make it accessible for everyone, but you have to really want to learn
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's the same, like you're going to go to Berkeley, you're going to spend 40,000, 100,000 on a degree. Come spend this little change over here and get the tools that you need so that you can also be sailing away
Yeah, right.
on a cruise ship where you're getting paid to just do the thing you love.
Love to do, yeah.
Yeah.
What I love too, again, I know this is your interview.
That's okay.
When we sung beside each other, I saw that you have the number system, the numbers.
Yeah, the shorthand.
Yeah, with your lyrics.
Not to touch
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Bad hand. Talk about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, so that's one of the main points that I'm always screaming from the mountaintops is the reason the number system has helped me so much, because how many times have I been handed a Dropbox with 65 songs to learn by Friday? And I'm like, okay, cool. I can listen to it one time and write down the numbers that I need. And then I don't actually need to study it again. I could just now read my shorthand. So when we were doing the gospel show, there was a moment that I had written a 3 next to my word. And I was like thinking to myself, there's no way it's supposed to be a 3, man. That's too high. And so I came in on the 1. And then I was like, oops. Because I totally came in on the tenor part. I didn't trust my shorthand. I thought I made a mistake. But actually, the numbers never lie. They are there for us, and numbers are so cool in all areas, not just in music. Like, I love numerology. I love numbers. I love patterns and equations. I just really geek out on that stuff anyway. So let me not digress too far.
No, I just wanted to. Curious.
But yeah, that's the shorthand. So that's, I think, maybe the most important module in the course. That once you have that, if you just can write yourself a couple clues, you can nail stuff so much faster and not be like, wait, what was my note again? You're like, oh, I know. I can trust myself. Yeah, that feeling. That's what I'm offering, is like rid of that feeling.
Well, it's a great feeling to have, right? To know and to be assured.
Confident.
Musicians, confident. I'm confident.
You are.
But to be even more confident as you elevate in your career and surprise yourself by what you do put in outside the number system, but with the number system, how much more valuable you would be.
That part.
As a vocalist, as a musician, and I'm very honored to have witnessed it firsthand, and to be here in this space with you, and to know that this is happening, and anyone who's listening and will contemplate not investing, don't get in front of it. This is the time now to invest in yourself. That's what it's about as a musician. Do it now. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not here. Today is when you invest.
That's true. And you've been investing in yourself lately, and you've got a brand new album out.
I have a brand new album out.
And I'm so excited for you, because I've released several projects, and I know what space you're in right now when you're in that new release space. You're living, sleeping, breathing it, and sharing it. You've actually got a listening party here on the ship.
I do have a listening party on the ship.
But by the time you guys watch this, we will have passed the listening party. So now is your opportunity to just go and have your own listening party. Go and grab you some Marcel Anderson. Do you want to share where we can find you and our best ways to connect with you?
My website, of course, MarcelAnderson.com. My brand new album, Trusted Love Relationship, TLR abbreviation. All the social media outlets. You can go to all the social media outlets and download the music. Brand new album featuring so many phenomenal artists, such as my brother Marcus Anderson, showcase Darnell Taylor on the guitar, Evan Taylor, Nicholas Cole.
Come on.
The list goes on and on. So grateful for this new album, and I'm excited for you guys to listen to it. It's soulful, inspirational, jazzy a little bit, but it's a great album.
And tell us a little bit about how the concept of Trusted Love Relationship came about. If you're willing to share a little of your story, because
life be lifing.
That part.
And you never know where life will take you. And it stems from me going through a traumatic experience in life and being caught off guard and not being able to trust other people with my life, because I thought my life was going to be taken away from me. I am a sexual assault survivor. I was held up in a home invasion, robbery.
Wow.
And I was sodomized with a pole, like 8 plus times, hospitalized for like a month. And from that traumatic experience, being hospitalized and helping out a coworker, not knowing if she set me up or not, I lost trust in myself, people, friends, family.
Of course.
And it was a female, so it's like, man, I can't trust females, and it was difficult. But I knew that wasn't me. That was an experience. And I had to get through that. That was through counseling, God, the right people, and the support that allowed me to get through that over the years. And I said, I got to deal with this because it's continuously dealing with me. So I began to write about it. And I wrote this song, Trusted Love Relationship, how to trust God, yourself, and others after you're going through a traumatic experience, which is difficult. But I knew through the work that I put in, I would get this music. And I wrote a book about it. And here's the music. So excited about that. So that's the backdrop of it. Yeah.
First of all, thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And that's really deep and vulnerable and
I want
powerful.
To be vulnerable. I want to be real.
And I hope that everybody will follow in your footsteps. That is a horrible experience. And all of us have some kind of trauma that we're dealing with. Yeah. And music is such a light. It's such a it's healing to create, but it's also saved so many lives just listening to it. So I've heard a little snippet of the first single. I can't wait to dive into the rest. But I just know from listening to you all week, and every time you open your mouth, I just melt. Like, he's incredible.
Appreciate that.
Go and find you some Marcel Anderson immediately. And tell us real quick about your book.
My book. So my very first book called Still Living, A Victimized Man's Journey, on Purpose to Live. And the new one that's coming out is called TLR. It's a journey through a lyrical healing. So I turned all my lyrics into a workbook. So it's the exact same album. You just get a chance to work through the lyrics now.
Oh, I might need that. I need that.
Yeah.
Lord knows I've had no lyrics. Trust. Okay.
And it's interactive questions. People get a chance to create their own love story, love poem. It's a love album. So you get to find yourself in the music and the lyrics itself. And you get a chance to hear more about my story and why I wrote the way I wrote. Because a lot of times, I'm sure you get this, when you write music, people are like, man, I want to read your lyrics. I want to see your lyrics. I say, you know what? Let me put this in a book where people can do life with me.
Is it available digitally? Like, if I buy your record, I can just download the book?
Well, it will be on the same platforms.
Okay, great.
And of course, my website, it'll be easily accessible because both will be available.
So MarcelAnderson.com, that is the place to remember, the place to go.
Yep.
You heard it here first on Sing by Numbers. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for your amazing voice and your story. Yeah. Thank you for sharing vulnerably. And thank you for the cosign on the number system. Y'all should learn it.
Go do it. Go get it. Go sign up.
And you too.
Thank you. She's gonna be begging me.
Yeah. I'm gonna just be nudging. Just a little nudge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Peace and blessings.
Have a good one, y'all. See you soon.
All right. What do you guys think of that? Hit me up in the comments. First of all, if you're here and you haven't already told me where you're watching from, let me know where you're watching from. I'm very interested to know who's in here with me. I see a bunch of notifications at the top and I can't really tell what go on, especially if you're on Instagram. You got to come on down because I can't see your comments on Instagram, which is why I keep inviting you to please come to singbynumbers.com/live so that you can be in the room with us. You guys, how amazing is Marcel? How wonderful was he? Hey? Let's give the boy his flowers. He deserves the flowers. First of all, it takes so much courage and vulnerability to share when you've been through a lot. All of us have been through something. I know I have a lot of trauma that I'm constantly working on healing from, and healing is such an incredibly difficult journey because once you've healed it, you can guarantee that whatever you've healed from will resurface at some point in your life. There's just nobody who gets through life without having that experience because we are always going in a cycle, which is similar to music. Music is also cyclical. There are a lot of parallels to healing and music. Music is a tool for healing. Like I said in the interview, it's a tool for healing. If you're creating it, it can be very cathartic, therapeutic, but also listening to music. I know so many people who were like, oh my God, that album got me through that moment that was really difficult. I'm so thankful that music exists, that we get to enjoy it, that we get to create it. And it's been really, really fascinating learning all of these patterns and cheat codes and relationships and formulas, how numbers are related. So it was a real treat to have Marcel Anderson on the show today. And before we finish, I'm just going to play you guys his first single so you can just hear a bit of his velvet. He's just such a gorgeous voice. Now, usually on this show, what we're doing is analyzing. So, I'm probably going to pause the song and talk a little bit about the chords and the melodies and the numbers involved, because that's just how Mama Number rolls. You already know. But get ready. This right here is Marcel Anderson's first single on his new album, Trusted Love Relationship. And this is called Forever. Okay, first things first, before we even get into it, he starts on, oh, baby, oh, baby. So he's already giving us a treat. He's starting on the 4. Anytime you start on the 4, it gives you that feeling of like, we're going somewhere. A 4 is very commonly used when you're on your way to a bridge or a pre-chorus, like when you're taking wherever we've been and we're moving, we're traveling. So he starts on a 4. So just already he's hitting us with some magic. All right, here we go. Marcel Anderson, Forever. Here we go.
We've been on this road long enough, traveling, searching for real love.
All right, first of all, does anybody know where the 1 is? I can tell you already that I know where the 1 is, and I know if this song is in major or minor. And knowing that means I could then analyze this entire melody with ease. I would love to know if that's true for you too. Talk to me in the comments. Which note is he singing the 1 on? Remember how to find the 1?
I just want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Okay, first of all, I usually ask you to look through the bass line to find the 1. All right, so we got a couple comments here. What you talking about? Hi, Maya. Hey, good to see you. I was just in Copenhagen for 2 seconds. Yes, Susan from Vancouver. Hi, my love. My family, my friend. All right, going back to the tune real quick.
Won't let nothing get in my way.
Notice how he travels with
This
his
is
melody.
special, so we can't delay. Can
then-
we make this moment count right now and move on?
Isn't there a nice feeling of like, I've just landed at home at the end of that phrase? That's how you find the one. Usually the bass line is offering it, but in this case, the melody is also offering it. The one is that feeling of home. We've just landed. Let's see where he goes next.
Let's go to the place where we belong, baby, together.
Okay, how about that? What notes are those in your opinion? If we know that the one is here, yay, this is the one. So what's this note? This is the one. So the first of those two notes is what? If this is the one, then the second note is E. Da, 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 da. He's going from the 7 up to the 5 in the chord, right? If this is the one, then you just go down 1 to 7. It's a minor 7, 7 minor. And then we're traveling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, because 8 is the same as the 1. 7, 5. And a good cheat code so you know what that interval is the song My Body Lies Over the Ocean, My Body Lies Over the Sea. That's giving us a 6th. We know that that's a 6th interval. So even if we just know math, if we went from 5 to 1 and then 1 more, that's a 6th. So that shows you that that's how you find a 6th. And he's using a 6th very magically here. This is a way that people have been using 6ths for years to evoke an emotion. What emotion does that give you? I know what it makes me feel like, but I don't know how amazing you feel.
The place we'll never lose our love, no, baby, forever. Oh, baby, forever. When the nights feel cold and rough, I'm your shelter.
All right, you guys heard it here first. I love you guys deeply. I want to make sure that you're all signed up for Tuesday's masterclass. All right, Tuesday, I'm going to be offering all of the tea. All of the tea. I'm finally giving away the masterclass. I'm finally offering the free masterclass. It's been almost a year of us creating this course for you, pre-recording everything so that you have everything you need in one place. And I'm just going to offer it to you for free on Tuesday. So all you have to do is sign up at the link below, singbynumbers.com/masterclass. What up, Mo Money? Good to see you. Sign up to this link and share this link with every singer you know, because this Tuesday is the only time I'm about to give it away for free. We're going to see how this first masterclass goes. And I have a feeling that it's going to be litty kitty and that I'm going to be able to really transfer some knowledge. You know, I've been studying these numbers, using the number system since I'm very, very young. I think I told you guys last week that I met Take 6 on the cruise, and I was totally crediting them for my many, many years in a cappella and my many, many years studying numbers. And they were like, oh, I should take your course. Anyway, come and join me in the course. All right. Next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. if you're in London or Denmark. And totally worth it to show up for yourself and get this number system in you and increase your confidence, increase your value, increase your, the more money you want to make, the more value you get to add. So you want to be a high value performer. You can be a great singer, great performer, but adding this layer of knowledge is just going to increase your value. It's really hard for me to impart what the transformation feels like, the difference in in your confidence and your feeling, your internal self-love. Just like when you upskill yourself, it's just it's so difficult for me to express exactly what you get. But I can promise you that what you get is going to actually change your life forever. And once you know this system and it's in your bones, no one can ever take that from you. And it will add value to you so that you can add more value to the world as you are meant to. You were given these gifts on purpose. Use them, nurture them, enhance them, love yourself. I love you. It's been real. We'll see you again next week. As usual, every Wednesday we're here. But Tuesday is when I should see you soon first. Okay? All right? Peace, love, hair grease, chicken grease. Love you so much. Mean it. Bye.